samasta jana kalyani niratam karunamayam namami chinmayam devam sadgurum brahma vidvaram vasudeva sutam devam kamsa chanura mardhanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum tvameva mata cha pita tvameva tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva tvameva vidya dravidam tvameva tvameva sarvam amadeva deva tvameva sarvam gurudeva deva. Hari Om. Let's make sure that mic is on. So we are doing the analysis of what is self or who am I. And after completion of what is non-self, that is anatma, the Acharya is now taking up the topic of what is atma. So this atma is essentially asti. Kinchi, there is something we cannot objectify, say this is atma, because the very subject who is objectifying is atma. So therefore, that which cannot be objectified is that I am, and it is Swayam Nityam. So we are analyzing the sloka 127 of the Viveka Chudamani. This is Asti Kinchit Swayam Nityam Aham Prachaya Lambanaha Avastatraya Sakshi San Panchakosha Vilakshanam. So we presented the first part of this is Swayam, that means it is self-existing. Nityam, it is eternally present, and therefore it doesn't undergo any change. And Aham Pratyaya Lambana, it is the very support for all my transactions in the world. When I am transacting, I am this, I am this, I am that, I am growing, I am a child, all with my, I am with the transactional I am, that Ahankar I am is also being supported by this, which is I am a conscious entity and existent entity that is supporting it. Now we are taking the second part of this sloka, which is Avastatraya Sakshi San. So it is that which is the Sakshi. Sakshi means it is the witnessing consciousness of the Avastatrayam. That means three avasthas. So what are the three avasthas? This is Jagrad Avastha, and the Swapna Avastha and Sushupti Avastha, the waking state and the dream state and the deep sleep state. So when I say I am in the waking state, so all my transactions in the waking world, there is I am plus I am transacting with the world. That's the whole, we think that's all I am is, and many of the analysis does not include the dream and the deep sleep state. So any analysis based on the partial data will not be a valid theory. So all objective sciences are only can handle these objectives that's only in the waking state, and therefore it's a limited in terms of transaction world only in the waking state. So I am a jiva in the waking state, where from morning to evening I am going in the world trying to gather all my, from morning to evening, like a rat race, trying to gain happiness from this object, that object, and so on. So all my transaction world from birth to death, from the childhood, adult and everything, I am associated myself with the waking world. That's all my world. Other things I consider the dream world is not real. That who says that? It's the waker that makes a statement that waking world is real but not the dream world. Dreamer doesn't say the dream world is unreal, and he doesn't know even the waking world exists even. And for a dreamer, the dream world. So who is a dreamer? I am the dreamer. So when I go to a dream state, when I go to sleep, I enter as though into a world of a dream world which I myself have created, but I have entered as one of the subjects. There also there is ahankara, which is essentially ekatma prachayasaram. That's what it is essentially part of that one atma. It is transacting with everything else there. So I am a jiva in the dream world, where for that I am taking a body there. I may be a blind person in the waking world, but I can see in the dream world. So blindness doesn't belong to me, it's only belong to the particular instruments that are available in the waking state, which are different from of the instruments that are available in the dream state. So I am a waker, I am a dreamer. I am experiencing in the waking state a waking world. I am experiencing and transacting with other beings as well as non-beings in the dream world. And when I go to a deep sleep state, I have neither a waking world nor a dream world, but I am in the deep sleep state, and that deep sleep state is only a homogeneous experience of non-duality. So it is also an experience. It is subtly recorded in the mind, in the subtle mind, or the Annamaya Kosha, which is Anandamaya Kosha, which has become Anandamaya, not Annamaya, it is Anandamaya Kosha, and we'll go analysis of what exactly Anandamaya Kosha later. But in that, where the whole koshas are folded, and therefore there is no distinctions of subject-object, duality is not there. So therefore I am only perceiving, if at all, or I am having the knowledge of the absence of subject-object duality. That's non-existence of subject-object knowledge is there, and that knowledge is recorded as absence of duality. So when I get up in the morning, I say, what did I do? I slept very well. My God, I slept that long. Because time concept is not there while I am sleeping. Only when I am awakened, I see when I went to sleep, and now when I got up, I say, I slept that long. I will only make a statement in the waking state. Because I need a mind in order to make a statement. I need a mind even to record two sequential events to define the time. Therefore, in the deep sleep state, what was there? I don't know. But I was happy because everybody wants to go to sleep. And that biggest complaint is, in fact, they take lots of medications and this and that and want to reach the state where, because there is no more duality and therefore there is no more problems. Because any problem comes because something other than myself. So everybody is happy, whether it's a king or a pauper. Once he goes into a deep sleep state, he is happy because there is no duality whatsoever. So that's why we said any speck of duality causes a problem. And all problems come only from the second. And in Advaita, there are no problems because there is non-duality. If the non-duality is understood even when the duality is being transacted, then it is absolute happiness in spite of the duality. So that is the clear understanding of the Advaita. But here in the deep sleep state, I am experiencing Advaita, but I have no knowledge of the experience of the Advaita. I have no knowledge of even my own self other than that I was there in the deep sleep state. Because nobody will go to sleep, deep sleep state, if they think they are not going to be there. So therefore they know comfortably that they are going to be there, and they know that they will be happy there, and all the thing is, I don't know, is the only knowledge that I have. So absence of the knowledge of all the duality is the knowledge. That which I say in the morning, it is I don't know anything. Is there anything? I don't know. I have no concept of time. I have no concept of space. So even in the deep sleep state, I was there, and the world in an unfolded state without any distinctions of any kind was also there, including space and time. So I am conscious of the existence of, absence of everything. That's what is the deep sleep state. And that state is also an experiencer state where I was there and I am an experiencer. That is the avastha, a deep sleep state. So deep sleep state is not a knowledge. Even though deep sleep state I am experiencing Advaita, the experience is not the knowledge. So I am not really longing for experience. It's not that I don't have the experience of Advaita. It's not the experience, I don't have the experience of myself, but I don't know what that I self is or what this world is. The problem is lack of knowledge is the problem, and it's not an experience, but I have to analyze what is the knowledge of what I am experiencing. Experience is not a knowledge. But knowledge can contradict experiences, and knowledge cannot be contradicted if it is an absolute correct knowledge. And incorrect is knowledge. Knowledge is called knowledge. It's called Brahma, or errors in knowledge. So all that we have understood, and therefore what is avastatraya sakshi? So I am there in the waking state, I am there in the dream state, I am there in the deep sleep state, I am there all the time. I am not changing. What is changing is the states are changing. Waking state has gone and disappeared, and the dream state has come. Dream state has gone, disappeared, and deep sleep state has come. Deep sleep state has gone, and waking state has come. So these states are changing, but I am not changing. I am the waker, I am the dreamer, I am the deep sleeper. I am the deep sleeper. So I am not changing. The states are changing. The experience that I am doing in all the three states are changing. When the states are changing, I am a changeless entity. Therefore, states do not belong to me, because I am experiencing the states, and I am going from one state to the other state. Therefore, states are not me. I am that beyond the states. I am the one who is experiencing and having the knowledge of each state. Therefore, I am a sakshi. Sakshi means one who can see or experience. So experience is I know. So one who is a knower of all these states. Therefore, the knower of all these states is different from the states. So even though I am moving from one state to the other state, I am different from all the states. Therefore, I am able to move. So waking state is completely gone. Waker is completely gone. I may be a scientist, I may be a chemist, or I may be a biologist, but all that is gone when I go to a dream state, and even that is gone when I go to a deep sleep state. All my ego is also gone. It's almost folded. So whatever I spend, whatever ownership and all that is gone when I go to deep sleep state. I am pure, existent, unconscious of, absence of everything. That is the deep sleep state. So there is no knowledge in that. For knowledge to take place, I need the mind. So one has to be careful. Says, how do I gain the self-knowledge? I cannot gain the self-knowledge in the deep sleep state, even though I am in the Advaita state. Because to gain the knowledge of deep sleep state, or who I am, I need the mind. So with the mind, I have to understand I am not the mind. And I need therefore a waking state, because in the waking state only I have the clear viveka, that means the discriminative faculty is there to analyze what is real and what's not real. That viveka is required to see, in spite of these changes that are occurring, in spite of anatma, I have to recognize the atma, a changeless entity, in the changing things also. That's why it is a difficult part, a very subtle part, where these two are not a physical mixture. I have to use the mind to recognize. And here the scripture is pointing, you are a sakshi. You are the witnessing consciousness who is witnessing these three states: waking state, dream state, and a deep sleep state. And therefore your state is different from any of these, because you are beyond all these three states. And in the Mandukya Upanishad is exactly analyzing these three states, and the one that is beyond all these three states with avastatraya sakshi, and that's exactly his description of that with that I am. There is a famous mantra in the Mundaka Upanishad, in the Mandukya Upanishad. It says, Nanta pragyam, na bhai pragyam, novayata pragyam, na pragyana ghanam, na pragyam, na pragyam, adhushtam, avyavaharyam, agratyam, achintyam, avyapadesham, ekatma pratyasaram, prapanchopashamam, shantam, shivam, advaitam, chaturtam, manyante, sa atma, sa vigyeyaha. Is a famous mantra of the Mandukya Upanishad. Is a mantra 7, where this Atma is being analyzed. And all these descriptions of Acharyas is only based on that mantra. It says, what exactly my nature? And this is essentially avastatraya sakshi. His part is, I am this sakshi, the one who is witnessing That means I myself not undergoing any change because I am a Sakshi, and whatever Sakshyam that is being witnessed are the different avasthas. In the waking state, I am Sakshi of the waking world. And when a dream state, I am a Sakshi of the dream world. In the deep sleep state, I am a Sakshi of the deep sleep state. So I don't go to sleep. I am a Sakshi because I am witnessing even the deep sleep state. What goes to sleep is only the mind has folded. Mind goes to sleep. In the mind, along with that, Ahankara goes to sleep. Because the mind, in the Antakarana, we discussed, there are four aspects. This is the buddhi and the mind and Ahankara, ego, and the memory. All that gets folded in the deep sleep state, and I am pure Sakshi, witnessing the absence of all that. Absence of duality is essentially happiness that I am experiencing. That means absence of suffering is experience. But I have no knowledge of myself, and that for that I need to be in the waking state only, because I need a discriminative faculty in order to know who I am. So that is Avastatraya Sakshi. So Sakshi Chaitanyam, I am a witnessing consciousness. So witness should not be involved in the crime. Then he is no more a witness. So that means I should be able to stand apart and look at the operation of the body, mind and intellect in the transactional world. As the body, mind and intellect transacts with the world, I can recognize I am akartaha. I am not a doer in spite of the body, mind and intellect doing what is required in the transactional world. So one who can remain as akarta in spite of or in all the karmani. So akarmaniyah pasyetu karmayaha. In all, the one who sees himself as I am, non-doer, or akartaham, abhoktaham, I am neither a doer nor an enjoyer. But while the doing is going on, because the doing is done by the antakarana and the five indriyas, karmendriyas and so on with the body, and that is not me, that's a part of the prakriti only. So I can see prakrutyeva karmani kriyamanani sarvashaha. Krishna says in the Gita, prakriti eva karmani sarvani, all actions are being done by the prakriti itself. And yah pasyati tadatmanam akartaram sapasyati. The one who sees this clearly, he can remain as a sakshi, where witnessing consciousness, witnessing the operations of the body, mind and intellect in the transactional world. So he is akartaham ahabhoktaham. I am never a doer nor an enjoyer in spite of apparent doing and enjoying. So therefore, that is what is called Avastatraya Sakshi, and that Sakshi is I am. And that's what essentially in the Mandukya Upanishad, it says that is adrushtam, that which cannot be seen. It says that which agrahyam, it says neither the jnanendriyas can catch it or karmendriyas can catch it. It says pratyasaram prapanchopashamam and shantam shivam advaitam chaturtham manyanti. It is called fourth state, but it's not really fourth state because it is there in all the three states, but it is independent of the three states. Therefore, it is chaturtham manyante. It is called turiyam. It is called fourth state because it is different from all the states, but it pervades all the three states, and that's what is called Sakshi. Sakshi Chaitanya means standing apart and looking at the whole world, including our own body, mind and operation, and if we can stand apart and look at it, that becomes a meditation. That's why this is the meditative slokas where it says I should be, because this is an indication of who am I. Who am I? I am a Sakshi. Therefore, I had to start as an analysis. Says, can I stand apart and look at myself as an operation of the body, mind and intellect? And that becomes a Sakshi. So that is Avastatraya Sakshi. So this is a meditative indication how I should be. That's why this is Chaturtham manyanti sa atma sa vigneyaha. In the Mandukya says that is atma, and that has to be known. How does it know? Through Vedanta Sravana Manana Nididhyasana. One has to know that I am a Sakshi. For me to be Sakshi, I have to be able to withdraw my mind without getting involved. That means without mind attachments to the actions of the body, mind, intellect. For that only Vairagya is. So Vairagya is standing apart and looking at the body, mind, intellect operating in the transactional world. That is Sakshi. And Avastatraya Sakshi is an Panchakosha Vilakshanam, and it is different from the Panchakoshas. So what are the Panchakoshas? So far in the text we have not discussed about the Panchakoshas. Panchakoshas is 5 koshas. Kosha is as a sheath. So as though it is sheath, this is just like a sword inside its sheath. So we have to remove it. It is as though it is inside. In the same way, Panchakosha has been analyzed exhaustively in the Taittiriya Upanishad. It says the Annamaya Kosha, then the Pranamaya Kosha, then the Manomaya Kosha, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. And I am beyond all these koshas because I am the innermost essence that is supporting all koshas, but yet different from that. And that is Vilakshanam, different from the Panchakoshas. Now we will go into details of what are those Panchakoshas and why, how I can be different, and why this knowledge becomes important for me to stand apart and de-identify myself with any of these koshas, just as I de-identify myself with the 3 states of consciousness. And we will analyze this little bit more. The second line, Avastatraya Sakshi and Panchakosha Vilakshanam, in the next talk. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.